Dust to Malibu, a movie shot almost entirely in Springfield, made its worldwide premiere at the Moxie Cinema today. The film is a road trip drama about a man who wants to take his estranged daughter to the California coast to scatter her mother's ashes. The shooting took place in 2024 and included several Springfield locations, such as the College Street Cafe, the Best Western Route 66 Railhaven, and Rockwood Motor Court. Product placements in the movie also included Andy's Frozen Custard and Askinosie Chocolate. A red carpet premiere was held at 3 today, with another screening at 6 p.m. tonight.
Family, it's sad, happy, funny, tragic, and all the things that happen in a family. This is just amplified to become kind of more cinematic than a normal family would be. And it's about a father who goes to find his estranged daughter in Missouri, in Springfield, to take her back to Malibu.
A Q&A with the writer and the director right there. Producers and actors followed both screenings. The film will also run at the Moxie for the next 2 weeks. Tickets are on sale now through the Moxie website.